Chapter 11. The Game Plan.
Are you hearing yourself right now?
Skylar whispered after hearing Ven's plan. She thought it was reckless. Sky, all I'm asking you to do is teleport me directly in front of the enemy. I will ensure your safety. I need to close the distance between us. That's the only way I have a chance at winning, he said while frowning.
Fine. You're lucky that I believe in you, Venny.
She shook her head at how ridiculous that plan was. But she knew that Ven was the only hope of defeating him. She grabbed Ven's shoulder, and they both vanished. A millisecond later, they had both been directly in front of the man.
You guys can teleport?
The man asked rhetorically.
How troublesome,
He added.
Judging by the essence type, it looks like the girl teleported herself and the boy. Not a problem.
The man materialized a knife and went to cut Ven. Ven dodged the knife efficiently, doing a backflip. However, the momentum continued towards Skylar. While in the middle of the backflip, Ven kicked the knife out of the man's hand, taking Skylar out of harm's way. The next second, the man vanished. He had been so fast that not even Ven had enough time to react. The man appeared right below him, putting Ven in a combo, first sweeping him off the ground, forcing him to spin sideways. The man then kicked Ven in the stomach, cracking his ribs and sending him flying at physics-defying speeds, finishing it off by appearing behind Ven and kicking him to the ground. Before Ven had been kicked, he ensured that Skylar had made it safely to the ground by providing her with a platform of stairs, while he took the beating. The man started to boast.
Surly, you didn't think that just because I was on the defensive meant that I was incapable of combat.
The man had been awfully cocky and proud.
How pathetic. I can't believe that Mr. Hat and Dagger lost to weaklings.
The man focused only on Ven because he believed that Skylar was too weak, so she hid for the time being. Ven tried to get up, but several of his bones had been broken. At this rate, he had no chance. Gosh, this isn't good, Ven thought to himself. He tried to buy time to come up with another plan. He yelled toward the man to get his attention. Old man, earlier you mentioned essence type. What did you mean? The man responded with pride.
What, you seriously don't know? Fine. I guess I have time to enlighten bugs.
He began to answer Ven's question.
First of all, there are 6 essence types, all rated by rarity. Those would be: imaginary types have the power to turn imagination into reality. Manifest types can create tangible items through cognition. Mystical types are able to convert essence into a channel for sorcery. In other words, magic, astral projection, or necromancy. Desire types' abilities are not quite known yet. Many believe that they can manifest powers according to the circumstances of their subconscious desires. Destruction types are beings who defy all laws of natural occurrences. Anything is in their power when it comes to havoc. And finally, God types. These beings have never been seen before. They existed thousands of centuries before the events of 100 years ago. There isn't a thing in their power that they can't do. Negation effects don't work on them. If they snap you out of existence, you're toasted for good, the man explained. That's enough lecturing forever. Time to meet your maker,
He said, as if to make final words. The man put his hands up in the air and waved symbols, kind of like the ones on Ven's ring.
Manifest. Sigil 1, Athena. Sigil 2, King Arthur. Final Sigil, Gilgamesh. Rain down havoc upon thy world.
The man yelled. He created over 1 billion blades.
Each blade contains enough force and power to destroy a planet.
He stated this while laughing. Ven looked in surprise. There's no way I could deflect all of those. I could easily dodge, but then the world would be destroyed almost immediately after, he thought to himself. The man sent the blades after Ven from quite a distance. Each blade had been traveling past the speed of sound. In due time, the blades had been seconds away from Ven's eye. He knew that he couldn't dodge. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm not sure if I'll be able to keep my promise, he thought to himself. In that moment, something spoke to him.
You're not allowed to perish yet.
Ven opened his eyes, noticing that all motion in the world had come to a halt. An army of blades had been stopped in midair. Skylar, the man, time. It reminded Ven of the figure from the hospital, but he was nowhere to be seen. He moved away from the blade, inches from his eye, very slowly. If time went back to normal, it'd be over. Ven looked at his white ring and noticed that the symbol had changed, but he didn't know what it meant anyway. He walked toward the man who had caused it all. He heard a voice saying to touch the man's chest. The voice gave orders again.
You may let go now.
Within that second, all of the blades had vanished. Time had returned to its normal pace. Ven looked at the man in confusion. He had been reduced to ashes. What happened? Ven asked the voice in his head.
You forced him to age almost 1,000,000 years. It had to be done to ensure we survived.
The voice added. We? Ven questioned himself. The entire time, Ven had been speaking to the white ring on his middle finger. It had triggered a fail-safe in case Ven's life had been threatened. But this ring had been more instructive rather than acting instantaneously like the other. The rings had dispersed. Ven fell to the ground afterward. The ring's defensive ability allowed him to freeze his wounds in time. In other words, the pain had been temporarily stopped.
Ven!
Skylar yelled.
Are you alright?
She took him to the nearest hospital for treatment. He'll be here for at least 3 days. Most of the bones on the right side of his body had been broken. He'll need the proper time to recover, the doctor explained. Soon after, Skylar and Ven were talking alone in the room. She stayed at the hospital with him. She planned to stay overnight as well.
You keep getting yourself into trouble, Venny.
She scolded jokingly. Yeah, I'm sorry, he said, playing along. You had me scared half to death, Skylar added. Venny responded apologetically. I know that was really rash of me, and I could have gotten in a fatal situation. Skylar folded her arms and turned away. If you want to make it up to me, then take me on a date, she bargained. Seriously? He asked. Ven hadn't expected that request to make amends. Well, if that's what you want, then you're on,